Nollywood actress Imade Osawaru has faulted actor Jim Iyke's recent statement that single mothers cannot raise proper men. A chat with the actress insisted that values, not family structure, determine the kind of men children become. She said, I strongly disagree. Proper men are not made by the number of parents in a home, but by the values they are raised with. I have seen single mothers raise kings, leaders, and visionaries. To say otherwise is to undermine the strength and resilience of countless women who are doing the work of two. A good man is raised by love, not just a perfect family structure. This is actually a debate that has been going on for a while now, and I would like to get your take on this quickly. I would like to get your take on this, Eddie.
Okay, so there's truth in what the both of them are saying. You know, people say in life there's nothing that is totally black and there's nothing that is totally white. So if you look at what the actress said, there's truth in it because there are a lot of men that have been raised by single mothers. Men like, you know, Abraham Lincoln was raised by a single mom. You know, Pastor Jerry also was raised by a single mom. There are a lot of stories like that. And at the same time,
I mean, look at Barack Obama.
Yes, was raised by a single mom. And at the same time, there are women that cannot command that discipline, you know, to caution their children. There's what we call tough love. There are a lot of women that cannot give that level of tough love. They are always soft and tender. So if you consider it that way, you see truth in what
Jim Iyke
is saying. Yeah, Jim Iyke is saying. So like I said, there's nothing that's totally black or white. But at the same time, a family that has both father and mother, well-behaved, you know, properly behaved parents can also groom their children. While the mother is giving soft and tender love, the father is giving tough love, you know. But at the same time, there are families that have both father and mother, but the father is not present. Yeah. So if you look at all of these things, they are both right. Nobody is totally wrong. They are both right. But at the same time, when an individual grows to be who he is based on the trainings he gets from childhood and the person he wants to become, the man he finally decides to become. That's why you have children that they grow up in good homes, Christian homes, and they end up wayward. You have to also have children that grew up on the streets and also end up being great. You understand?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what is more important is who the individual decides he wants to become. Not necessarily the training he gets. Yes, the training is also part of it, but at the end of the day, it is who you decide to become that you actually become.
At the end of the day, is who you actually decide to become that you become. Now, he said a woman cannot raise a proper man. Now, I made that post on my IG and somebody said he cannot say a woman cannot raise a proper man. Now, I want to look at it from the perspective of attitude, character, being a macho man. Now, imagine being raised by a woman who is soft. The guy comes out. Don't you think the guy would come out to be a soft man, so to speak, if you're looking at things from the angle at which he's looking at it from, not just
Yes.
not just on that other aspect, yes.
Yes, that can happen. At the same time, environment also influences. So if he's among friends that act mature, right from when they were young, plays football together with them, you know, plays some rough, you know, plays with them. At the end of the day, he's actually going to, you know, feel and act like a man. You understand? But if you put him in a place where he's all surrounded by girls, plays with girls, acts like girls, up till teenagehood, most likely he might actually not be the kind of man he's supposed to be.
Well, on the part of the ladies now, if you have, does this also not apply to the ladies? If you have a soft man, yeah, raise a young lady, what kind of lady would that young lady turn out to be? Now, because people say they've seen great girls, yeah, that were brought up by dads. And so they've also seen great guys that were brought up by women. Now, if a man can raise a proper lady, why can't a woman raise a proper man, regardless of the environment he finds himself?
You see, when it comes to raising children, there are a lot of things you have to consider and put into consideration.
Okay.
First of all, you have to consider genetics, genes. You have to consider environment. You have to consider the lifestyle of the guardian or the parents. And then you have to consider the actual person that is being brought up. So there are a lot of factors that you have to consider. Like I said, nothing is plain black or white. At the end of the day, we actually cannot predict anybody's future.
Yeah.
Actually cannot predict anybody's future. There are a lot of people that will grow up in the streets and will end up becoming pastors. There are a lot of people that will grow up in a Christian home where the mother and the father is a pastor, but will end up becoming, barbarians in the society. So at the end of the day, nobody can actually predict what a child turns out to be, except to just watch. But at the same time, you should make sure that you give your child the adequate training he needs, you put him in a good environment, that to encourage him to be the kind of man you want to be. Environment is very, very important because you will not be with your child 24/7, especially as he grows into teenagehood. Your child goes to school, your child spends more time in school than he spends with you. You understand?
Yeah.
Every child spends more time in their school than they spend at home. When you get back home from school, you just spend a few hours with your parents, the other hours you are sleeping. In the morning you go back. You spend nothing less than 6 hours in school. 6, 7, 8 hours. So what happens in those hours is determined by the environment. The environment the school provides, and the kind of people that comes into that school. You understand?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you really predict what happens to your child, but just do your best and leave the rest for God.
Amazing. Do your best and leave the rest for God. Now, I want to also approach this from this other angle. Yeah, we've been having that conversation of single man raising a child, single woman raising a child. Now, if not in the case of one partner losing the other to unforeseen circumstance, let's say death peradventure, for instance. Now, don't you think we, the millennials now, or the young people that are getting married, should do right by their partner? Don't you think we are having a whole lot of divorce cases, and that is why we are even having this conversation to start with? Because if you are tolerant enough, if you are patient enough, if your partner is well behaved, not violent, why would you want to leave because of something somebody did that you could actually tolerate, or see how you get a therapist to get that situation settled? And you don't do that, but you just decide, okay, I cannot tolerate this, let's end the relationship. Whereas you guys have kids together, and now this person is leaving these kids for the lady, now the man in question, quote and unquote now, is leaving the child for the lady alone to bring up, or he's going his way and leaving her with the child, or she's going away and leaving him with the child to take care of. Don't you think we should reconsider as a society, yeah, our stance in marriage and our values also from the homes we come from? Don't you think it's because we neglect this, that's why we're having a whole lot of divorce cases now? And we're having this conversation.
Well, like I said before, when it comes to relationship between a man and a woman, it is very, very unpredictable. We cannot decide what happens in their lives, But I feel that a lot of divorce cases now is as a result of influence from the Western world, because the African culture believes in family. The African culture believes so much in family. If you go to the days of our forefathers, they believe so much in extended families. That's where you see a big compound. The father is there, the father's brother is there, the father's cousins also live in that compound. So the African society believes so much in family, and the influence of the Western culture has now brought up a lot of divorce cases. And I feel that a lot of divorce cases right now is just because, of there might be no study to prove this, but I feel that men these days do not know how to pick wives. They just, when they see a lady on social media, she's beautiful, she has balls, she has this, she'll make a good wife. A lot of men choose their wives off those things, which is very, very wrong. And when they finally discover and know the person for who she is or who he is, things go south. And sometimes too, money also. A lot of ladies today don't even consider the character of the man they're getting married to. They just all they want to know is, does he have money? Most times, even the parents of the daughter also put in that fact first. How rich is he? Before, consider his character and all of that. So these are the things that, contribute to the high rate of divorce these days. So if you want to fix that, we have to go back to the drawing board, and there are a lot of things that needs to be done, but I don't see those things being done. So we'll still keep having divorce cases as time goes on. So I feel that we cannot, have a proper discussion centering around that. You understand? That can lead to a proper solution.